Hello again, everybody. This is going to be our fourth and final video as far as an intro into Gates of Hell Ostfront. This is kind of your late game strategies and how you should build out your army and things like that. So let's take a look at the research trade, kind of see what has happened. Now, I did switch things up. I've been playing the Germans for the most part, but I have a Russian campaign that I'm running as well. So you're going to notice one of the first things is I actually didn't even bother unlocking large defenses. I found, and I don't know if it's just me, that the Soviet play is way easier than the German play. I didn't actually need large defenses. I just was able to just defend all the points, no problem at all. Really didn't have any struggle with these guys. I did move up one for the anti-tank rifle again. I don't really recommend that. Never bother with fuel, even though I'm running IS-2s, because I've been winning so quickly with the Russians. I've never had to worry about fuel. And then, of course, I went with Guards Rifle. So I haven't even unlocked the more advanced rifle squads that are available for the Russians. And I think I'm about 30 battles in. So this is like total late game material right here. Like, we are really deep in late game on an unlimited campaign. So let's keep going down here. Now, this is in the beginning. I unlocked that stuff. I haven't even unlocked the greatest flak cannon. But this one seems to do a great job, both anti-infantry and anti-air. So I did unlock the heaviest anti-tank gun that they have. I will say, Soviet side, it's a great choice. It does a really good job on defensive battles. And then, of course, the gun I was actually talking about, which is the best for the Soviets, now that we're on this, is going to be your 152 millimeter, where the Germans was the 15 cm. So I'm kind of glad I'm able to run this campaign as well. I'll show you guys the difference. Didn't bother with the better rocket truck, and I used the rocket truck trucks maybe 3 times. Again, ammo hogs, not really worth it. If you like the explosion and the sound, sure, it's fun, but tank-wise, this is going to be the same thing you can apply for the Germans. This is like doing the Panzer V line, but it's the T-34s. I had talked about this in my previous video, that the T-34s are absolutely amazing. I did unlock the mobile platforms as well. And then, of course, I got pretty much all of my heaviest tanks flushed out, except for this more advanced equipment here. It's going to be pretty much the same on the German side. In fact, I can actually go ahead and I'm going to load up a campaign on the German side just to kind of show you guys what that would look like on the other end of the spectrum there. So let's see here. I think it's this one. This one. So this has 34 battles in it. So now you're going to kind of see the opposite, what the late game research tree and what the build out is going to look like. So pretty much everything's unlocked here. I did mess with the Panzerschreck team. This was an earlier playthrough when I first started playing the game, so they're okay. I wouldn't bother again, not really worth it. Fuel, like I talked about for the Coins Tigers and stuff like that. I do have Fallschirmjägers, which are fantastic infantry. And then as we're going down the pathway here, you're going to notice like the Flak 88. That's my go-to anti-air, anti-tank weaponry, hands down. And this is another great platform to use. It's basically one of these sitting on a truck. So good. I can't even begin to tell you how good that is as a weapon, and especially in a defensive battle. Instead, I'll sometimes only bring like 2 of these and 1 of these to have it go up and down my defensive line, just set up, fire, move, and just keep going. And the heaviest anti-tank gun didn't bother because why? I mean, you have the Flak 88. Why would you bother? I did unlock this gun on the German side. This is the one I was talking about. That's total trash. It fires super slow. It's incredibly inaccurate. Not worth it. The 15 cm all the way. Rocket artillery is not worth it either, really. And then as I'm going down through here, you'll kind of see the difference. So the Panzer Vs, the whole line has been unlocked except for this one I didn't really bother with. And then I had pretty much all the heaviest equipment unlocked. I didn't bother with the Ace Tiger. As soon as I was able to unlock the Coins Tiger, I stopped using the regular Tiger. You'll do something very similar as far as playing your game. So I guess while I'm in the Germans, I might as well show you what this composition looks like compared to the Russian. We can just reload that campaign and show you. So my first call sign, always infantry I usually go with. The second one's going to be, I have actually a lot of supply trucks, and that's going to be because of my guns that I brought along. So I have infantry, Panzerschreck team, 1 machine gun team, I think I probably just came off a defensive battle, which is why. My heavy guns with one truck and a medic. I got a Panther, which was a later addition. I kind of unlocked that because I already unlocked the Koenig's Tiger and stuff and was kind of bored with the tanks there. Just want to try something new. I will make a special mention. You'll see the Strom Tiger here. The Soviet equivalent, I forgot what it's called. Sometimes it's nice to bring along these mobile heavy gun platforms. They're super good at clearing out positions. I mean, one of these shots from this gun does a massive explosion, tons of damage, and clears out positions. So I tend to bring the Strom Tiger along only in offensive battles. So, you know, defensive-wise, not worth it to really mess with. And then, of course, I have two Koenig's Tigers, another truck. This is the fuel truck I talked about. And then I just filled in with two flamers as well. So let's go ahead and I want to load back up my my Russian campaign to show you the difference and what that loadout looks like. So get a nice comparison view of kind of what you should be looking at as far as a play style if you want. So I got a machine gun nest. This is probably coming off a defensive battle. I have two guards rifle squads and a supply truck, another machine gun, anti-air, medic, guards rifle squads. These guns are absolutely amazing, way better than the German counterparts. A supply truck with additional supply. That's anti-air / machine gun, works really well. Guards rifle, IS-2, and a T-34-76. And then I have two IS-2s and then additional anti-air and a little bit of anti-tank support. So late game. This is, starting in your mid to late game, you should always be in a defensive battle bringing along anti-air weaponry, always. And I would dare say, as you expand into this point where you're doing 4 points you have to hold and capture, I would even bring them in offensive battles. They're so good to just drop in the middle of a point you're supposed to defend and leave and move on with your troops. They're great at clearing out infantry, which are going to be the things that normally sneak behind and get to your forces and start messing with you. So they serve a great purpose of anti-infantry, anti-air at the same time, which works out really well. So you can see the difference with the Soviets. I have more armor, and more heavy armor, in fact, as well. I have 3 IS-2s and then a T-34-76, which is a medium to heavy tank, kind of approaching that. So different layout, different play style, but yours might look something similar like this, it might not. But again, I am 34 battles, I think, in this one, 33 in the other one, something like that. That's weird, it only says 30 here, but on the save it said 34, so I'm not really sure why that is. But anyways, so as far as when we get into a battle, I'm going to load a battle up. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because to be brutally honest, I don't want to say they're tedious. This is a defensive battle. So let's go to the Russians again, or the not the Soviets, the Germans. I'll get my nation right here eventually. And let's see if I can go into an offensive battle. I'd rather do that to show you an example of what I'm looking at here compared to a defensive one. I just want to show you what that would kind of look like in comparison and just drop a couple quick hints and tips on what you should be looking at. Another defensive battle. Well, sure, why not? See if I'm set up properly. No anti-air. Ditch that. Let's drop in 2 flak cannons. I think that's going to be perfect. What's the map? Oof, this is one of the worst maps ever. This map, Steelworks, and there's one other one. They're urban warfare maps. They're pretty tough to do any kind of battle in, to be brutally honest. You don't need this many trucks. That's crazy town. Let's see what else we'll bring here. 12 points. Do I have anything I'm really... How many trucks do we have? Really wish I could bring this. It's 24 points though. I only have 12 left, so... Do I have a field engineer? Alright, let's just do this. We're going to drop in a field engineer. Again, I really enjoy being able to set up and dig in my tanks. It helps a lot, especially in a map like this. That's really annoying, and I am going to bring an extra supply truck. What the hell? Why not? So, I just want to show you what the big difference you're going to see here. Number one is the 4 defensive points. Again, this has no fog of war turned on. This was still kind of in the learning phase, and if you're in that learning phase as you get through, I always recommend playing either a very long campaign or do an unlimited and play until you get bored with the Fog of War on, just to really get your strategy down in your gameplay. And then when you're ready, turn on Fog of War. In fact, the next video series, depending on if you guys want to see it or not, I'll leave it up to you, that I'm thinking about making, is playing the game with Fog of War and kind of the strategies around that, how to manage it, how to play in it properly. You guys let me know in the comments, just drop it if you're interested in seeing something like that. If not, totally cool too, I understand. So let's go ahead and take a look at this here. 4 defensive points. Makes a real fun game, trust me. So I would probably guess, and again, I'm going to be wrong, that the enemy's going to be coming in from this generalized area here. Probably between the south and the west. Knowing my luck, they'll come in from the east, but we'll find out. So when you have this many call signs and it's super expensive, I do have 155 action points, but I need to be very careful when I'm going to call in. My recommendation is going to be get your anti-tank guns in place, get your artillery in place. You could substitute your anti-tank guns with heavy tanks. That's totally up to you. But in this circumstance, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 1 truck I have. Rip. That's embarrassing. I'm going to get my Panther set up probably in this position right here. I'm presuming they're going to come in from over here. And I'm going to start moving. The artillery, actually, I can just have them walk to their position. It'll take a while, but we should have that time. And we'll probably place we'll do a flat gun right here, I think, in between our position. And we have 1 machine gun, so let's see here. Where do I want to put this? I think I'm going to set it up right here. Okay. So those are the 2 things I'd probably recommend right off the bat. Like I said, get your anti-tank guns in place, your heavier equipment. This is why it's important to bring extra trucks along. I kind of screwed myself. I have 1 truck to carry all this equipment. That's going to be a pain in the ass to manage, at least in the beginning. So got to cross my fingers and hope I can get these into position. I think maybe I'll have this guy just start walking. This flat gun, I'm probably going to actually place like right... Nah, that's too close to it. Too close to maybe right here. Scratch that. I'll have it. I'm going to put it here. I think I only have 2, which is not a big deal. In order to get heavy equipment to move like this, sometimes you have to double right click to get it to move. Not the end of the world, but you know, if you don't do that, it sometimes just does nothing. There's really one of the more frustrating things you run into with that too is like I said, if you didn't double click, if I didn't double click that flat gun would be just sitting there. Not that it's going to get very far anyways. You know, look how slow it's pushing. This is, again, why trucks are going to be vital to your strategy here. Where am I bringing this? Right here. Yeah, you know what, on second thought, we're going to bring it right. I want to bring it right here. Tuck it in a little bit closer to the position. And I'm going to have these guns just move up a smidge more just to make sure that they can be within range. You really want to have your artillery ready to go to hit the edge of the map. You want to stop those anti-tank guns from coming in. You want to stop those heavy... And I sometimes do use them to hit heavy tanks. You know, if there's a heavy tank coming in, you sometimes get lucky and you'll break the tank treads, which is amazing because then it's stuck. And it's stuck all the way at the edge of the map, totally useless to the enemy. So... I'm not going to really probably bother calling in my infantry. I'm going to wait for my call sign number 2 to see what that is. I forgot what it is. Okay, I'm going to rotate this to face that way just to be safe. Start handle like this. It's funny, I mentioned in my previous video that, you know, when you see the 3 triangles essentially like this, you see for this Panzer or Panther, that it's a heavy tank. I guess that sometimes they must count the heavy or medium tanks as heavy tanks. They're not actually going to be a heavy tank. Panther, I wouldn't have considered a Panther to be a heavy tank at all. Alright, let's get this Panzer Trek squad up here. You know what? I do have one Fallschirmjäger squad that I'm going to actually, I guess I'll set it up right here. It's perfect. And I'm going to set up a machine gun nest to support the flak gun. That's another important thing to mention. Your flak gun will, while it's super good against tanks and stuff, it's hopeless against infantry for the most part. It's not going to do jack. So you want to keep an eye on that. You don't want to place it in any kind of position where it's really, really, really exposed, because yeah, it'll die, no doubt about it. The enemy's already coming in. Let's get our guns to actually rotate in the direction. So they're coming with infantry first, thank goodness. That should make things a little less daunting for us to deal with. So they did come in with a lighter anti-tank gun. While it's not like a code red thing to deal with, I am going to see if I can get my guns to get on it and just start picking it off if I can. Might not be in range. This is what I feared. These guns are actually still too far back. So let's get these up even further. Alright. Where is my flak gun? It's on the way still. There is a glitch, guys, I want to mention, since we're talking advanced light gameplay, that sometimes when a truck is transporting a anti-tank weapon, that it'll actually drop the weapon. Or even an artillery piece. I don't know why, I don't know what caused it, but it just drops it. And the truck will arrive at the point where you're like, oh cool, my stuff's in position, wonderful. And then you realize that it actually dropped the thing you were trying to transport. So not fun. So again, guys, I'm not going to play through the whole battle. I just wanted to kind of show you opening moves and kind of thought process as far as maybe defensive, offensive battle, late game, army build out, things like that. You'll notice when you have large, I think I have large defenses to the Germans, that you actually get minefields, which is pretty cool too. I forgot to mention that. I didn't mention that in my previous video, that, you know, there is another advantage to having that. So, let's see. 1 second, I'm going to drop the flak gun right there. Come on. Go, go, go. Get our artillery to rotate. And yeah, I mean, from here, guys, I'm going to wrap this battle up. This is not going to be a big deal for me. You know, we have enough heavy weapons. I think that we're going to win this without much trouble. So I won't bore you with the details of that. Hopefully you're playing the game, you're having fun, you've learned some things from this video series. And again, let me know in the comments if you're interested in me creating a video maybe on Fog of War gameplay, strategies around that, what that looks like. So guys, I'm going to pause my game and I will catch you on the flip side. Take it easy. Bye.